At least 24 killed in early morning TAHFIZ school blaze. Malaysia, US to push Myanmar to end oppression against Rohingya. A very good afternoon. I'm Adrian Seeding. You're watching the afternoon edition of News on 2. Now, at least 24 people, most of them students, were reported dead in a blaze which destroyed a TAHFIZ school in Datuk Keramat, Kuala Lumpur early this morning. A spokesman from the Kuala Lumpur Fire and Rescue Department said they received a distress call at around 5:41 a.m, adding that 22 students and 2 adults were confirmed dead as of airtime. The department said the blaze was believed to have started around 5:10 a.m. on the top floor of the building. It added that around 20 students managed to escape the burning building by jumping out of the second floor windows. Following the incident, the police have cordoned off the area and closed a road along Jalan Keramat Hujung that connects the route from Jalan Pasar Keramat and Bukit Pawang. In August, the Fire and Rescue Department was concerned about the fire safety measures at unregistered and private TAHFIZ schools, having recorded 211 fires involving them since 2015. Prime Minister Datuk Sri Najib Tun Razak has shared Malaysia's concern about the ongoing humanitarian crisis in Myanmar with US President Donald Trump. Now, following the meeting between the two leaders, both countries reached a consensus to push the ASEAN member to end atrocities against Rohingya Muslims.
I promised the Malaysian people that I would raise this with President Trump, and I did. I'm glad to say that the President shares my concern, and that is why this heart-rending humanitarian crisis was included in our joint statement. While I cannot speak for exactly what the US government plans to do, I can tell you that there is now a distinct possibility that they will also provide humanitarian assistance to those desperate victims of atrocities that the world simply cannot ignore.
In his speech at the Center for Strategic and International Studies in Washington, D.C., the Premier said that he and Trump discussed the need for a strong international community response for the hundreds of thousands who have been victimized and displaced by violence, including those who have arrived in Bangladesh. Meanwhile, Datuk Sri Najib hailed the long-standing US-Malaysia partnership following his successful visit to the White House and talks with President Trump on Tuesday. The Prime Minister spoke of the increasingly close defence and security between Malaysia and the United States and expressed his confidence that these would reach new heights over the coming years. In doing so, he called for further cooperation on counter-terrorism measures, action to alleviate the plight of the Rohingyas in Myanmar, and resolving the dangerous tension in the Korean Peninsula, while also emphasising the commitment to democracy and free speech that the two countries share. The Cabinet has given an assurance that Rohingya seeking refuge in Malaysia will not be sent to Bau and Serian in Sarawak. Human Resources Minister Datuk Sri Richard Riyad Jaim in a statement said the assurance was given by Deputy Prime Minister Datuk Sri Dr. Ahmad Zahid Hamidi in the Cabinet meeting yesterday. Datuk Sri Richard said the issue of Rohingya refugees being sent to Sarawak was false and called on all parties not to believe such news as reported by several local media since the issue became viral in the social media. The minister also urged those who had received such news via social media platforms to lodge reports with the authorities for the next course of action. The body of a Form 5 student believed to have been murdered was found afloat in a river near the Lembah Klau land scheme in Raut Pahang on Tuesday. The victim was identified as D. Yugendran, 17. Raut Police Chief Superintendent Wan Muhammad Zahari Wan Busu said the body was found at 3:15 p.m, 4 days after Yugendran's mother lodged a police report over his disappearance. This followed the arrest of the victim's 21-year-old friend last Monday, who admitted to having struck him with a stick before throwing him into the river. He said the suspect was believed to have been angry with Yugendran, who was alleged to have often disturbed him and engaged in a quarrel with him. Superintendent Wan Muhammad Zahari added that the body was found about 500 meters from where the victim fell in the river. The suspect, who has 2 criminal records for drug-related offences, has been remanded for 4 days, beginning on Monday, to facilitate investigations. The body was sent to the Raub hospital. The Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commissioner MACC has detained 4 individuals, including a chief executive with a Dato' title, for alleged misappropriation of government funds amounting to 40 million ringgit. Now, the funds were meant to be channeled to a corporation involved in skill training programs. According to a MACC source, the Dato', age 58, the Corporation Secretary, age 34, and Finance Assistant Officer, age 32, and a Company Director, age 38, were detained at a number of locations in Kuala Lumpur in a special operation between 4:30 p.m. and 6 p.m. yesterday. It was understood that the 40 million ringgit allocated by the government this year and 35 million ringgit last year were for training programs for the unemployed. MACC Deputy Commissioner for Operations, Dato' Azam Baki, confirmed the arrests and said MACC was in the process of getting the relevant documents. He did not dismiss the possibility that more people would be detained to assist in the investigations. The Kedah Youth yesterday lodged a police report against 2 social media users who allegedly posted insulting comments on the demise of a Sultan of Kedah, Sultan Abdul Halim Muazzam Shah Sultan Badli Shah. Now, the report was made at the Kota Star Police Headquarters in Alor at 12:20 p.m. State UMNO Youth Chief Dato' Shaiful Hazizi Zainul Abidin described the act of the individuals as disrespectful and urged the authorities to take immediate action against them to prevent a reoccurrence.
Itu merupakan satu penghinaan bukan sekadar kepada ke bawah duli Yang Maha Mulia, arwah ke bawah duli Yang Maha Mulia Sultan Abdul Halim, tetapi juga kita menganggarkan dan menganggap itu adalah penghinaan kepada institusi beraja secara keseluruhan. Oleh yang demikian, Pemuda UMNO Negeri Kedah ingin menggesa agar satu tindakan undang-undang yang sekeras-kerasnya diambil kepada pemilik laman Facebook ini.
In Baling, various non-governmental organizations, Village Security and Development Committees, or JKK, as well as Baling Putri UMNO, lodged police reports against the same individual at the Baling Police Station at 2 p.m. Baling JKK Permanent Chairman Johari Abdul Latif said the people of Kedah were deeply hurt and outraged by the insult, while its Putri UMNO Permanent Chairman Surina Cik Mid also described the act as irresponsible. In other news, Mr. Taya, a new app for on-demand professional auto care service, aims to eliminate the hassle of visiting workshops and pricing inconsistency for drivers in Malaysia. The platform, which is available on Android and iOS, offers services such as new tire fitting, battery change, tire alignment and balancing, as well as engine oil servicing. Mr. Taya founder Dennis Melka said unlike the existing automobile service business model, the unique selling point of Mr. Taya is that its service van actually comes to vehicle owners, eliminating the need to locate the nearest workshop. Another selling point is its itemized billing, provided to users before any transaction is finalized, which Melka believes is a chance to promote transparency in the traditional auto servicing industry.
It's already online or through mobile delivery. It's effectively 0% here in Malaysia. So we think we're giving a very exciting product to the consumer, and we really hope that the consumer likes it, enjoys it, and we deliver them great service.
According to Melka, Malaysia is the perfect market to launch such a service, as there are about 5 to 6 million cars on the road in the Klang Valley alone, along with an estimated 4,000 tyre shops. Leading e-commerce platform Lazada Malaysia yesterday launched its Everyone Can Sell program, which aimed to attract over 50,000 merchants into its platform by the end of 2018. Now, the group, which currently has over 19,000 merchants, aimed to attract more small and medium enterprises, or SMEs, onto the platform through the consolidated program held in collaboration with SME Cooperation Malaysia, Companies Commission of Malaysia, or SSM, Malayan Banking Berhad, and Telekom Malaysia Berhad. SSM Marketing and Business Development Division Director Farid Ahmad said the end-to-end integrated e-commerce program would help spur the growth of local SMEs, as it provided the entrepreneurs with the right tools and support within a robust environment and thus allowing them to scale up quickly.
Our cooperation with Lazada is that we want to not only make sure that the company or business entity that are selling their products in the marketplace like Lazada not only must register with SSM but also must comply with all other requirements. So in this case, we assist them in the registration.
He said this to reporters after the launch of the program by International Trade and Industry Deputy Minister Dato' Ahmad Maslan in Kuala Lumpur. Permodalan Nasional Berhad or PNB hopes to increase the number of unit holders from the current 13 million following the backing of Selangor and Penang muftis who have issued a harus or permissible status for investments in the fund's products, Amanah Saham Bumiputra and Amanah Saham Nasional. PNB Group Chairman Tan Sri Abdul Wahid Omar said there were several cases where unit holders had requested to withdraw their investments as their states had not issued the fatwas. Tan Sri Abdul Wahid said PNB's engagement with the Selangor Mufti Department had resulted in the issuance of the fatwa supporting investments in the trust fund in April this year, followed by the Penang Mufti Department's nod in August.
It's very clear. We do not invest in any gambling stocks. We don't invest in any of the alcohol stocks. We don't invest even in tobacco stocks. Yeah, very clear. So the only areas where we invest in would be in financial services stocks. As you know, the Islamic banking counters, they're very limited.
He told this to reporters at the PNB University Science Islam Malaysia Sharia Governance and Assurance Conference 2017 in Kuala Lumpur.